So over the weekend, a story about Jonah Hill went viral. Now, I'm sure all of you know who Jonah Hill is, but for those of you who don't, he's the guy, and I'm not trying to be an asshole here, I'm just trying to describe what the role is that he played in Hollywood. He played this role, he was typecast as a young man, as being like the unfuckable fat nerd. And listen, I'm sure that had to suck because you're getting typecast in a way where it's got to affect your mental strength and your view of yourself. And it almost reminds me of like Screech from Saved by the Bell, how he was the nerd, the dork who nobody liked, and then he sort of that impacted his real life, and he had a rough life as a result of it. So I feel bad. Child stars in general, it sucks, but especially if you're a child star and you're typecast as being like a loser, right? So anyway, he had this glow up recently where he goes to therapy, works out, he lost a lot of weight, and everybody was giving him props and credit. But now we just learned about, from his ex-girlfriend, some of the inner workings of their relationship. And there's a lot of debate about this online as to what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, who's right, who's wrong, etc. So we have a tweet here. This is from Sarah Brady, Jonah Hill's ex. This is manipulative, abusive bullshit. We'll judge all this in a second. She is a surfer and shouldn't post pictures of herself in a bathing suit. What the fuck? What a tiny little man. So Sarah posted this, I guess, on her Instagram. This is one of the things Jonah sent her. He said the following, plain and simple. If you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places, and from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful, I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for romantic partnership. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. So Sarah said, see the misuse of the term boundaries. So they continue here. He made her take down this picture. For those of you who are just listening and you're not viewing, this is not all that risque, certainly by modern standards. She's just wearing, she's totally covered up. She's just standing there. There's no like sexy pose or anything. It's just like a white top and a white bottom, and apparently he thought that was a little too risque to be put up. She also says, the woman tweeting here, Celia, says, holy fuck, he went through her Instagram with surfing pictures and videos and told her to remove them because boundaries. Literally says anything with a bathing suit. Okay, so this is a warning to all girls. If your partner is talking to you like this, make an exit plan. Love y'all. Call me if you need an ear. So you see pictures, one of her surfing from a distance away. It's sort of like the side back of her while she's surfing. Here's another one of her surfing. These were ones that he said take down. So he sent her these screenshots and said, respect however you want to live your life. You only get one. I'm sort of done with explaining myself. 3 removed. Then this is Sarah responding to him at the time. 3 pictures removed, not the video yet. It is my best surfing video. Would you feel better if the cover frame was different? Any more specific ones that bother you? He says, yes, one that isn't of your ass in a thong. She said, not a thong, but K. And again, I think he's referring to this picture of her that's sort of from the back. See, this is her from the back kind of, but it's zoomed out and she's just surfing. So he thinks that's too risque. I think we have some more here. Apparently, before they started dating, he loved the surfing pic. So Sarah also posted this. This was before they were dating. He sent her a very similar picture of her surfing, where this is her from the back and you can see her in a bathing suit. And he sent the heart eye emoji. And she said, how you doing? He said, good, I want to see you. So she posted this on Instagram and said, yup, like kind of unbelievable that a man who sent me shit like this would then be upset I didn't read his mind and take down pics of that once I was in a relationship with him. So he liked these pictures until he was with her, and then all of a sudden he flips on it. And guys, I want to reiterate here, these pictures are not all that risque, certainly by modern standards. It's just like her surfing, and, maybe some are from the back or whatever, but it's a distance away. It's not really all that risque or overly sexual or anything. She's not an Instagram thought, is the point I'm making. So we got another one here. You're right, we can't do surf social things or develop trust until you consider me and make decisions that give regard to our relationship. I have been vulnerable as possible, and I am telling you I am needing you to step up to the plate, which you can. I'm sure of it, but these losers don't get your time if you want me. Straight up, it's consideration. I respect your love of surfing, but I respect myself as well, and your love of surfing and me being in those situations and lack of awareness are not mutually exclusive. This isn't me. I have my own issues that I own. If you want marriage and family, you can't use the 25 card, talking about her age. Step up and cut shit. These people don't get your time or your kindness at the sacrifice of mine. So this is him, I guess, arguing that she's spending too much time with her surfing friends. Whatever. Anyway, so this is the gist of the story. There's another, I'll show you this one as well. Jonah Hill's ex-girlfriend, Sarah Brady, launches new attack on the actor. Yes, at the start, he complimented me and flirted with me over the same surf pic he later called an ass shot and was angry I didn't take it down, angry I didn't read his mind. Like, bro, you know what you signed up for. And the worst part is he blamed it all on his mental health issues, which, of course, I was empathetic to, as I have bipolar type 1 myself. But he was so fixated on psychotherapy and acted like the authority on the subject between the two of us. Apparently, it's not between the two of you. Apparently, it was leaked to the Daily Mail. Now, Candace Owens chimed in. Can't wait to see what she said. Women say there are no good men. The truth is there are plenty of good men, but many women don't want to rise to the level of being good women. Basic respect for yourself and your partner isn't a tall task. Again, there's nothing wrong with Jonah Hill's leaked text messages. Now, I don't think Candace Owens even read all the messages, but she's sending the one that we read first here. Look, the point a lot of people are making, and I think it's fair, is that he's using this talk about, like, boundaries and using the talk about, like, going to therapy. It's like trying to use that to sort of deflect and obfuscate from the fact that he's being controlling, right? Like, you knew who she was. You knew she was a surfer. You knew she posted those pics. They're not too risque at all, by the way. And if they were risque, I would say I think they're very risque, but they're not, right? And so he's using the fact that he's in therapy and using his boundaries in a controlling kind of way. So look, if I was her friend and I was giving her advice, I don't know how long she stuck it out in their relationship with him. I don't know how old these messages are. Well, I guess it says right here, December 2nd. Oh, so she stuck it out for a while. Good googly moogly. But anyway, if I was her friend and she showed me this, I would have told her immediately, like, get out. Just get out. Get out, get out, get out. Because if he's doing this now, he's going to continue to keep doing this, and it's not going to stop. If anything, it's going to get worse. But this is now the status quo. This is now what it's going to be like moving forward. So if I was her, I would have said, hey, dog, you got to get out. This is not going to be a happy relationship. This is not going to be a loving and trusting relationship. Now, if I was his friend, what I would have told him is, if he showed me, hey, I'm going to send this to my girlfriend, look at this message I'm sending her, and it was this message right here, I would have told him, hey, dog, get out. Just get out. It's not worth it. None of this is worth it. Look, in order for a relationship to work, you need, number one, attraction. That's like the default, like that's, you absolutely need that to ever start down that path, right? There has to be an attraction there. But then you also need trust. And then, you know, obviously the third thing is, and this could develop over time or whatever, but it would be love, right? Attraction, trust, love. If you're sending a message like this, just understand right off the bat, her attraction to you, gone. Gone. You're being controlling. You're being manipulative. You have boundaries which are unreasonable boundaries. If these were reasonable boundaries, I can understand. But these pictures aren't too risque, and you liked them previously. Now you're trying to change something about her that you already knew. So the attraction's gone as soon as you click send on this message, and the trust is gone as soon as you click send on this message. So the only thing that's left is maybe love, but the love is going to fade over time if the trust and the attraction are no longer there. So, and I would, look, to him, I would have said, if you feel the need to send this, then you also have massive, massive trust issues. You don't trust her. You don't trust her, or else you wouldn't feel threatened by her hanging out with her surf friends. You wouldn't feel threatened by pictures of her surfing, which might show her from the back, but which are not sexual by any stretch of the imagination. You wouldn't feel threatened by that if you felt like, I have total trust and the situation is fine. So, look, this is what a toxic relationship looks like right here. This is what a toxic relationship looks like. A lot of people are defending Jonah by saying, hey man, he's just laying out his boundaries. And like I said, the question isn't whether or not you're allowed to have boundaries. Everybody's allowed to have boundaries. But it's, are your boundaries in this instance reasonable? And these are so far from reasonable, it's mind-boggling. If she was, posting a close-up of her ass in a thong or whatever, then I get saying, like, hey, man, like, we're in a relationship. I'm not sure that's cool. I'm not sure I like that. You do what you want, but no, I'll, if it continues, I'll probably have to leave because I don't trust you anymore, and I think you're, like, fishing around for attention from other dudes or trying to get in a different relationship or whatever. That would be understandable, but that's not what happened. That didn't happen. It was a surfing video, and she's a surfer, and he knew this about her. He liked the pictures beforehand, then he flipped on her. So look, the bottom line is this stems, I think, from Jonah Hill's insecurity. Keep it real. And it comes full circle to what we said at the beginning. Now, this is me psychoanalyzing. It's potentially unfair. I don't know. But it seems to me like, he was typecast as that sort of overweight, losery dude, and that stuck with him mentally. And so he put himself in this position where he's like, he still thinks of himself as that, despite the fact he's been working out and he's in a much better shape and he goes to therapy and he's trying to get his shit together and all that stuff. He still is clearly very insecure. He's insecure, and this is how it manifests. It manifests in a way where it's like controlling her. And it is manipulative. A lot of people are saying it's not manipulative because he's saying, hey, you could leave if you want to. But it absolutely is manipulative. Because these are things you shouldn't have brought up in the first place. They're not reasonable in the first place. So bottom line is, they're not a good match. He's super insecure. She should have left right away. He should have never even sent the first message here. He should have left right away. Guys, understand something. In order for a relationship to work, this is an ironclad fact. You need the attraction, you need the trust, and then later on you need the love. And the attraction is gone. The second she reads this message, and the trust is gone the second she reads this message. And if he really has these issues and he believes them to his core that these are real issues, you also need to get out because that means you have no trust for her. Right? So you're allowed to have boundaries. You're allowed to, set your boundaries. But usually, look, if you're with the right person, they just intuitively know your boundaries anyway, and you know theirs anyway. Like, you don't need to talk about it. It doesn't need to be like, let me make a list of the things you can't do, and you make a list of the things I can't do. That's goofy. That's stupid. That's not real, right? You just intuitively have a sense, and you know, like, what's okay, what's not okay, and you abide by it, and you respect it, right? The second you have to actually, like, list out, like, here are my boundaries, it's already a problem. It's already a problem. People are allowed to have boundaries, but they should be reasonable, and if you're with the right partner, it'll be, like, intuitive, and you'll just know, right? But this is what a toxic relationship looks like, and this is what a manipulative dude looks like. And it doesn't matter how much you try to dress it up, and listen, I'm in therapy. You could still be an asshole and a piece of shit and super manipulative. And I think it all stems from his insecurity. He clearly needs to work on himself. He shouldn't be in any relationship right now. Never mind one with this woman. So anyway, that's my breakdown of the situation. I am shocked that anybody is sort of out there defending him. I am. Because again, what they're saying is, well, he's saying you could leave if you want, and he's just being honest about his boundaries, but that you're missing the whole point. The whole point is, are these reasonable boundaries? And without a doubt, they are not reasonable boundaries. If you liked the pictures before, you can't say, well, now I hate them and take them down. You can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. And also, again, she's a surfer. This is what she does. So she's going to post videos of her surfing. If you can't get over that, that's on you, homie. That's on you. That's not on her. So it was a bad match. I think this is super obnoxious. And by the way, any dude who sort of, you're kind of telling on yourself if you are defending Jonah in this instance. Because, look, I could tell you, attraction, trust, love. That's what a relationship is based on. Anybody who would send a message even 20% similar to this, nobody's going to be attracted to you. Nobody's going to be attracted to you. And you're also saying, I don't trust. So you shouldn't be in that relationship anyway, right? So he's got to work on himself, get rid of his insecurities, address it. Maybe go to a different therapist because this one ain't helping you. He's feeding into your delusions, right? But it's an ugly situation. And again, I was kind of shocked that anybody was taking a side on this because it so clearly is a toxic situation. It so clearly is not a fruitful, fulfilling, happy relationship. It's so far from that. It's like the archetype of the opposite of healthy. So nobody should be defending this. There's some deep-seated problems here all around. All right, guys, that's the show. I love y'all very much. Thank you, as always, for listening. Do me a big favor, guys. Click like, click subscribe, all that fun stuff. You know the deal. Click that bell icon so you get a notification every single time a video drops. You listen to the full shows, of course, on Spotify if you want to hear the audio version of the podcast. And that's all I got for you. Much love to everybody who supports the show on Patreon. Please consider if you're not already doing it. Link in the video description box below. It helps us tremendously. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser. I'm very proud of that fact. We can only do that because you guys support the show. So please consider, you could tip on YouTube with the thanks button below. All right, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.